You did it. You're recording. How'd you know how to do that?
Don't know.
Are you a smart boy?
Recording.
feet, turn right.
Okay, so here we are testing out FSD beta 10.8 and just getting to know some of the new features like waypoint navigation and trying to create our very first test loop here as well. So just to see how these do. Okay, nice right turn there. It kind of hugged the curb, just a little tighter than I would like, but this is a brand new route we have not taken before with FSD, and I've been wanting ever since I started the channel to create a test loop that a lot of the FSD YouTube testers are doing, and it's just kind of the idea is to create a consistent, easy to run and test route that you can just test quickly from near your home and check iterations pretty quickly and get videos up as quickly as possible. So some new things, if you haven't seen any of the other videos out yet, because this stuff we started rolling out about 48 hours ago or so. They've changed the UI significantly, so there's new configurability at the bottom, so you can users can configure what they like here, what they want to frequently use, and then you now have a full page, full screen visualization for FSD, so that's pretty cool. I like that you can just clean the map off entirely. They've changed the instrument cluster a little bit, made it a little bit smaller font. So yeah, really interesting to see those changes. But yeah, I also just wanted to get a quick daylight video. It's been dark so much this time of year that I really wanted to get a daylight test video out. So let's see, what are we doing here? So another thing that's new and different is the tentacle here is now a chalky faded blue line. So it seems to be faded when you're not driving or when it's not intending to move forward, and then it's dark or solid dense blue when it's actually moving. So all right, we're going to take a left into this back neighborhood street here, and whoop, it's doing okay. Yeah, it's just never driven through these neighborhoods before, so ho ho ho. Let's see if we can get a little. There we go.
Now your destination is on the left.
So there's Santa mode, because apparently it shows pedestrians as elves, which is kind of cool. So let's see how we do up there. Add. All right, so let's go into the next waypoint.
Now turn right onto 93rd Street Court East.
Yep, there they are. That's pretty cool. All right, seeing them. All right, did a pretty nice turn in the neighborhood there. Widen this up.
In 500 feet, you will arrive at your destination.
500 feet to the destination.
Now you have arrived at your destination.
Okay. So we're gonna need to route a little further up here. Let's get down to here. Okay.
In 500 feet, turn left onto Fruitland Avenue East.
Okay, so that's kind of cool. Oh, interesting. All right, so I think this is going to be a good.
Now turn left onto Fruitland Avenue East.
Oh. Can you do a left here? It doesn't look like you can do a left here. No, you can, but it's sketchy. Here comes a car. All right, and nope. So pretty good test route. That might be annoying if we keep doing this route though, because there was a big old kind of median barrier there, and it didn't know what to do. Honestly, as a human, I didn't know what to do there. As we were approaching that, I thought, this doesn't even allow a left. So, interesting. We will see how that goes. So I'm going to see if I can just kind of drop breadcrumbs here and get this to go where I want it to. I've been excited for the waypoint functionality, but others have said, and I'm running into this, it doesn't quite work how you would expect it to work. It kind of, it's just trying to do the shortest route, and then in the order that you place them, and it's trying to do it the most efficient way that it wants to drive. So it's a little tricky. I'm going to have to play with that quite a bit more to figure that out. But so far it is working. Okay, so we've got a little bonus extension here to the last video. Couple of things. I think my camera's turned off in the middle of the last drive because I had the voice control turned on, and I must have said something that stopped the recording, so that's a bummer. And then also, the very next day we got kind of a little mini blizzard here, at least for the Northwest. We don't get snow like this often, especially this early in the winter. I mean, it just hit winter solstice and Christmas, so basically Christmas evening, and then for the next day and a half it snowed. So so fun to get FSD out in the snow and see how it handles. I'm kind of doubtful that the car really knows if it's icy, so I'm going to be taking extra caution to lower speeds and keep maximum follow distances and all those things, in spite of how FSD wants to handle the conditions. So going on one of my more common routes you've seen on the channel before. So we will see how 10.8 is handling. This is only my second drive on 10.8. It's getting up into some deep slush there. Okay, it got back out of it. That was interesting. It's definitely following the lines a little bit different with the snow. And this is definitely, after FSD was starting to get a little bit boring, or not boring, but just getting used to it, this definitely adds in a little bit of excitement again, because I am not comfortable just going totally hands off with this. So I'm just guiding the wheel. Yeah, it is definitely not holding lines well. It's putting us up over the actual yellow line. So that's interesting. Wow. I mean, it's not doing terrible, but it's not doing great. Seems to be reading, because everybody drives, generally in the same spot, and that kind of makes the snow melted out in a certain way, so the lanes don't match exactly how they normally would. Okay, here comes a turn.
Now turn right onto 72nd Street East.
It's just going way too fast up to this turn. like if it was actually snowy. Okay, that's interesting. So it saw the better looking lane and went for it. And I'm forcing the speed limit down about 5 miles an hour. It's 35 here, but I'm gonna go 30. And I mean, some other incentive for not really wanting it to drive in an improper lane is, you know, you don't want to get all the extra sand and chemicals or stuff, whatever they're using to melt the ice. Doing fairly well here. Oh, it was really wanting to. Okay, I just took manual because we're just going too fast here. And the conditions are a little worse in a shady area, so I'm going manual. But even in manual, fun to see how the car handles. You know, electric is going to be a little bit different than a gas powertrain, so it's going to handle a little differently. But it feels confident. I think this is my first time in heavy ice and snow. What's the temperature? 23 degrees right here, so it's pretty cold. It was 19 a little earlier where I was at, so definitely cold for here.
In 1,000 feet, go right onto Pioneer Way East.
I've got a big truck kind of way too close to me for these conditions. My dad always said people with four-wheel drive may be able to get started and move a little easier, but they don't stop any better.
Pioneer Way East.
Very slushy at the bottom of the hill. Okay, leveling out. Yucky looking roads here. Okay, coming to a stop with regen. Feels confident. Alright, still not doing a great job following the lane ruts. I'll put it back in here. See if it does any better. It really wants to fall. It wants to hug left out of these snow lane tire ruts. So that might be something that they can improve. I would assume they can. But if you think about the amount of snow miles that they've got for FSD training, it's very limited compared to regular dry road miles. So
In 1,000 feet, turn
just gonna send in an
left
autopilot notice,
southwest.
just to let them know. And I'll try to engage it as much as I can. Okay, here's really heavy. I can't see lines at all, and it's actually holding really well here. And we've got a left turn coming up, so let's see how it picks this.
12th Street Southwest.
Okay, taking over. All right, taking the. Interesting. Wow. So it made a very confident turn with zero lines showing. I mean, the road here is completely covered, if you can see it. And it did it. Coming up to another cross turn here.
Now turn left,
left.
onto 2nd Avenue Northwest.
Unbelievable. I'm even sliding in autopilot here. Woohoo!
Now your
Wow.
destination is on the
Well,
left.
that's something to show. I mean, the road's totally covered with snow, and it did it. That's crazy. Okay, we are in total road covered snow, and it's allowing me to engage in autopilot.
Now
Turn signal's
left
coming
onto
on.
12th Street
Somehow
Northeast.
it's seeing the road barrier or the shoulders really well. Okay, there's a car coming. There's a car coming. It's creeping out. Okay, it stopped for it. There's one coming from the other direction as well. It's still pretty far. Wow, it's going. Slipping. Driving way too fast. Oh, that was crazy. So we were spinning
500 feet, turn
all
right
four
onto
wheels
Stewart.
in autopilot. So that's very interesting. Okay, the things that were crazy about that were that it was handling traffic, it pulled out into the snow. Its traction control system is so good that it didn't matter so much that it was speeding really bad. But it was going way too fast. And so that's obviously something that the team needs to work on. But really cool that it let us engage in this weather. So I'm gonna re-engage here because again, the road's totally covered, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna slow it way down to something reasonable. Okay, so there's 20 miles an hour, set speed, full FSD, handling really well here. But I am on extra high alert to be cautious. Let's go a little faster, let's go 25. But very icy, well into the sub-freezing temperatures. There are 0 lane lines here, folks. 0 lane lines, and it is doing really well here. It actually seemed to do worse where it was like mostly snowy, but then, you know, had the lane tire ruts melted out. It wasn't handling so well there. But where it's completely covered, it's doing incredibly well. Here's a curve in the road. It's taking it. This is nuts, people. This is nuts. I've been wondering for months and months how would city street, you know, vision driving do in totally snow-covered roads. We just came to a perfect stop here at the stop line at a red light, and I can barely see the threshold line myself, but it came to a perfect stop here. It's not depicting the threshold line. Okay, we got a green light, we're going. Our set speed is still 25. It's doing a very cautious start this time. It's anybody's best guess if it was doing a really gentle stop because there's ice. Okay, so it just made a mistake here, what I'm calling a mistake in my opinion. It sped right up to 30 miles an hour because it must have seen a speed limit sign. So it readjusted its speed up. So far, the only thing I can really fault FSD on in this ice and snow is, okay, I'm being really cautious here. We got some parked trucks. Okay, it's doing well though. The only thing I can really fault it on is the speed handling. You know, so it's just not. Okay, I'm taking over because we're almost to our destination here and it doesn't quite know what to do. So, very fun, folks. Pretty fun to get it out in the snow. We got a little more driving coming up, but I gotta run in and grab something here, so I will be right back.
Down to 5th Street Northeast.
Okay, we're back in FSD, engaged here in very snowy, icy roads. So coming to a stop sign here, no traffic. It can go whenever it feels like it. Here we go. So traction control slipped enough that it got uncomfortable there. Allowing us to re-engage immediately though. I'm gonna set the speed at 20 as a limit. And we are at a traffic light here, so interesting. Okay, got our green light.
In 500 feet,
It's making a
turn
nice,
left onto
gentle
East Pioneer.
acceleration. Want to make sure I'm here definitely, I mean, we're sliding, the wheel's turning sideways, and it's driving.
Turn left onto East Pioneer.
All right, turning left through an intersection. Unbelievable, folks. Ladies and... Okay, again.
100 feet, turn right to take the Washington 512.
Okay, it was driving very well. We were starting to kick out the rear end because it was sliding so much. And it kicked me out. It basically said take over because it was detecting enough slippage. But otherwise, I mean, it's driving really, really well. Okay, we just we're coming to this red light, and it was so much black ice here that the anti-lock brakes were working overtime. It turned the wheel, it kept it straight, it did not kick itself out of FSD. All right, light turned green, pulling onto this freeway on-ramp here, and it's fighting for lane position. So the only thing I'm going to be doing here on this on-ramp is I'm going to be controlling speed. So I've got it, okay, so it just kicked up to 60. I'm pulling it way back here because we could definitely lose control based off of its speed handling. But lane handling and all of that, I'm letting it do all of this. And it's doing really well steering. Okay, going up to 25, 30. And it's kind of getting off the road here a little bit. Okay, there's a car coming. It's merging to let us in. Okay, still slipping. Turn signal coming on. All right, just merged into the lane. Okay, now we are on the highway. And holding the lane pretty well here. Okay, they were just getting a little close, so I took it out. It's really funny. People are going like highway speeds, 60 miles an hour, way faster than they should be going. We'll hang out here behind this guy who's going a reasonable speed. I've got it set to 45. We're behind somebody that's going 42. And I mean, it looks mostly melted here on this highway, but there's definitely black ice in places. I mean, it's in the low 20s. Okay, we've got pretty rough conditions here. I can barely see the lane lines. We've got direct oncoming sun. A sheen where the sun is hitting the road, and without sunglasses I would be straining to hold a lane right now, and it's doing just fine. So this has been an interesting one, guys. Pretty much it seems that if they can get the speed control down and maybe turn up some usage in the IMUs so that it can detect lateral slippage, I think that they're going to have no problem with occluded lane lines. I mean, it seems to do incredibly well. They've just got to figure out better adverse control. You know, humans are very good at detecting when the car is slipping, but honestly, I think that the IMUs could do an even better job than a human, because they're going to react instantaneously. So if they just tune that system up, it should be able to drive better than a human in the snow, quite honestly. And it's not going to be tempted to go and do donuts like humans either. So, I mean, like 3 or 4 times now I've wanted to pull off into a parking lot and go do donuts. I'd probably get a lot more views if I did that, actually. But okay, here we are on the highway going 43 miles an hour. Gonna pump it up here, 45. This is totally packed, covered with snow and ice, and it's holding a lane that I can't see. I don't know how it's doing that. That's crazy. I don't know how it's doing this, folks. I did not expect that the first time I took it out in this kind of weather with the roads completely covered that it would do this well. Yep, I am pretty confident that autonomous cars are going to happen, people. If it can do this, and there's still a long road of improvement in the software, I have zero question at this point that autonomous taxis are a thing, that robo-taxis are going to be a thing. So this is a pretty exciting journey we're on all on together here, and it's going to be fun because the whole point of this channel is that one day we're going to send the car somewhere. You know, I'm going to send it to pick up a friend or a family member, and it'll drive them, or you're going to send your car out to be an autonomous Uber and generate cash flow. It's just kind of a crazy future. But yeah, I'm obviously pretty excited, but very encouraged by how well it's done overall in the snow. Let's get that to the FSD team. Let's get our speed control figured out. You know, basically probably something along the lines of if a certain amount of occlusion is, a certain percentage of occlusion is present, reduce acceleration. I think they already have that. I was detecting really gentle accelerations out of intersections, so it seemed to be doing that. But what it wasn't doing so great was it was going too fast. So it would just like go right up to 35 if that was the speed limit. Instead of, I need to wash my windshield here real quick. It'd go right up to 35 instead of, maybe going to 20 and testing that and seeing how it is, and then changing from there. So probably be good to just pick a speed that it can do safely and just stick with it. Better to go too slow in harsh conditions than too fast. So okay, it has kicked us out, so it's not going to take our exit here for us. Alright, took this exit. Slowing down. Back in autopilot.
In 500 feet,
Alright, back in FSD. Coming off this off-ramp here. We'll see how we do. So it's got to get us over. How is it seeing the lane? This is crazy. It got us over into a lane that it could not see to get us off this exit here. Now we're waiting at a red light. Sees this cyclist here, which is good. It's got a green light, but we have a cyclist right in front of us in these conditions. Let's see if it goes around him. Come on. Okay, I almost took it there, folks, but it made way for him, went around him safely. It did it. That's incredible. I mean, I was like probably a half second from squeezing the wheel there to take control, just to make sure that I was keeping people safe and keeping that cyclist safe. But the car made the right decision, made a nice sharp left swerve to leave him plenty of space before it proceeded around him. So it handles pedestrian interactions extremely well. Not to say there couldn't be some sort of accident, but it seems to handle that really, really well. All right, well, this is gonna do it for this one. Sorry if it was a really long one, guys, because we basically combined 2 videos in one. But this was a fun and exciting one, so I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks to the people who have subscribed. recently. Nice to have you aboard watching us on the channel here. But if you're enjoying this content and you're not already subscribed, I'd really appreciate that, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye.